Hello everyone and welcome to this proactive tutoring video. Today we're going to wrap up with our lesson on mathematical modeling by looking at some more advanced examples. So let's get started. Alright, so here's our first example of the day. So as usual, pause the video, try this on your own, and then continue when you are ready. Okay. So this question asks, what is the minimum number of free throws Sharita needs to make from now on in order to have a free throw average of at least 80%? Right, so what we need to do is develop a mathematical representation of this scenario and then solve that to get our answer. So how do we create this equation? Let's think about this. So Sharita's free throw average right now is 46 over 60, right, which is 76.7%. So made over total is equal to 46 over 60, right? This is right now. And this yields an average of 0.767. Right? But we want the average to be at least 80%. Right? So her made, so let's let x be what we're solving for. So x is the number of additional free throws. All right, so x is the number of additional free throws. So where does this come into play in our equation? So if she shoots x more free throws, we are assuming that she's going to make all of them, right? And we want to know the minimum number of free throws that she needs to make in a row to have an average of at least 80%. So her new made will be 46, right, which she already has, plus the next x that she makes, right? She's gonna shoot x more, and she's gonna make all of them, right? And our total is going to be 60 plus x, right? Because she's gonna shoot x more, she's gonna make all of them, and we want to know the value of x such that this equals 80%. And now we just solve for x, right? So we can multiply both sides by 60 plus x. So we will have 46 plus x is equal to, that is 48 plus 0.8x. And then we can subtract 0.8x from both sides, and we can subtract 46 from both sides, so we'll get 0.2x is equal to 2. We'll get that x is equal to 10, which is choice C. So if Sharita makes 10 more free throws, then instead of making 46 out of 60, she would have made 56 out of 70, right? And 56 out of 70 is 80%, which is what we are trying to solve for. So therefore, our answer to this question is C10. Let's look at another one. You guys try this one now. All right, so this question asks, for what positive real value of k, if any, is the determinant of the matrix equal to k, right? And we're given the equation of the determinant of a matrix. We're given that it equals AD minus BC, right? So the product of A and D minus the product of B and C. So we want to know for what positive real value of k is the determinant of the matrix equal to k. Right, so we need to develop an equation that represents this. So what is the determinant of k? Right, the determinant of this matrix is equal to what? Well, using this formula of AD minus BC, this is going to be equal to k times k minus 3 times 4. And this has to be equal to what? Well, this has to be equal to k, equals k. Actually, this is our equation that represents this situation, and now we just solve for k. So we'll have k squared, right? We add the k to both sides, plus or minus k. So k squared minus k, and then minus 12 is equal to 0. And we can factor this into k minus 4 times k plus 3, because we want to find two numbers that add to -1, multiply to -12, so -4 and 3. Then we get that k is equal to -3 and 4. Right, and we have two possible values for k, but when we look at our choices, we see that this -3 isn't one of the choices, but we see that 4 is a choice. It is choice B. So therefore, our answer is 4. All right, try this one now. All right, so we're given that the sum of three numbers is 855, and one of the numbers x is 50% more than the sum of the other two numbers. So what's the value of x? So we can say we have three integers, right? X plus y plus z, and this equals 855. And what do we know? Well, we know this piece of information. One of the numbers x is 50% more than the sum of the other two numbers. Right? So what is an equation that represents this? So x is 50% more. Right? So 50% more would mean that it is it's 50% more than the sum of the other two numbers. So that means you take y plus z, right? You take the quantity y plus z, right? And 50% of this, if x is 50% more than the sum, that means you would have to multiply y plus z by 1.5, right? You have to multiply by 1.5. So x is 50% more than y plus z. So x is 1.5 times y plus z. So dividing both sides by 1.5, we get that x over 1.5 is equal to y plus z. And what we can do now is we can substitute y plus z here for this. All right, so we can say x plus x over 1.5 is equal to 855. Right, and now we can just solve for x. So we can rewrite this as 1.5 x over 1.5 plus x over 1.5 is equal to 855. And then 1.5x plus x is 2.5x over 1.5 is equal to 855. And 2.5 over 1.5, that's just 5/3. So 5/3 x is equal to 855. And then multiplying both sides by 3/6, or by 3/5, we get that x is equal to 855 times 3/5, which is 513. So our answer is choice B. Let's take a look at one last example. Try this one now. Okay, so we're given that the sum of two positive numbers is 151, and the lesser number is 19 more than the square root of the greater number. So what is the value of the greater number minus the lesser number? Right, so we can let x be large number and y be the small number. Okay, so we know that the sum is 151. So x plus y is 151. So lesser number, right, which is y, is equal to 19 more than the square root of the greater number. So y is equal to the square root of x plus 19, right? So we know this, and what we can do is we can substitute this back into this equation, right? We can substitute it back into this equation right here, and we'll get that x plus square root of x plus 19 is equal to 151. Right, so x plus the square root of x is equal to 132. So now, how do we go from here? So what I recommend when we get to this point is to just plug in numbers, right? I would say the fastest way to answer this question at this point is to just plug in numbers for x. So you have 132, so start somewhere around 132, right? So maybe you'll try 10, maybe say x is 10. Or maybe you'll try like a perfect square, so 100. So 100 plus the square root of 100, right? So if x is 100, then it'll be 100 plus 10, which is 110, right? So it's not 100. So now try 121. Since we have this square root here, so x has to be a perfect square, right? So I would just recommend trying different perfect squares till we get that x plus the square root of x is 132. And if you try 121, right? If you try 121, we'll get that 121 plus the square root of 121 is equal to 132, and 121 plus 11 is in fact 132. So therefore, x is equal to 121. And now what we can do is we can plug this back into this equation right here and solve for y. So if we do that, we'll get that y is equal to 30. Right? So x is 130, 121, y is 30. So what is the value of the greater number minus the lesser number? This is 121 minus 30, which gives us a final answer of 91. So our answer is choice J.